Okay, so let us open our training progress. So in the last class, we discussed about the introduction of handling unit management. Okay, so we didn't check any configuration at S4 and EWM side. So today what we'll do is we'll try to configure the handling unit management configuration in S4 as well as in EWM, and also if time permits today, then we can also run the inbound and outbound process with the handling unit management. Okay, so let me open my local desktop. So let me again open the handling unit config. So as we have discussed earlier, we need to maintain the packaging material type, and we also discussed what is this packaging material type and packaging material group. And in order to generate the unique numbers, we need to maintain the number range at S4 as well as EWM side. Okay, so today what we'll try to do is we'll define the packaging material types, packaging material groups, maintain the number ranges, and try to run a cycle. So the config related to handling unit management is under logistics general. Under logistics general, you have handling unit management. Under handling unit management, go to basics. Under basics, first we need to define our packaging material type. So here I have already created one, which is cartoon for our warehouse WH18. Let me also create one more by copying it. I'll just click on copy, and then this time I'll try to create box BX18. So while we define the packaging material type, we see all these settings under the packaging material type. So the first one is output determination procedure. This is actually used to print the handling units in the S4 side, or when you are working with MM or WM, you need to have these settings in place. But since we are working at, we are trying to print the HEs at the EWM side, so these settings are not necessary for us. Okay, and this is also the same. It is related to the printing of handling unit at the S4 side. We are not using it, so that is why we are not defining anything over here. So, and the next one is the plan determination. So this plan determination is actually while building your handling unit, how is your plan determined in your handling unit? So that is the setting. So we need to maintain plan determined from the first item that was packed. Okay, it has B. And what is the packaging material category? So we have 4 types of packaging material categories. So the first one is means of transport. So this means of transport is actually, if I open the PPT, so if you can see this, so this is means of transport. Okay, this is a transportation unit actually, but if you are trying to build a transportation unit, so you need, in that case, you need to define your packaging material with the category transportation unit or the means of transport. Okay, so if I go it is stuck, system stuck. Okay, so if you want to build a transportation unit, for that you need to have a packaging material in place. In that case, you need to select the packaging material category as means of transport or transport equipment. Anything is fine. Okay, so A or B you can use if you are trying to build a transportation unit. So, and the next one is packaging material. If you are trying to create a handling unit, okay, in your warehouse, then you need to select a packaging material. So this ultimately we are going to assign this packaging material type into our material master. So when we are trying to create a packaging material in MM01, we'll assign all this packaging material type and the group. So since that we are creating a handling unit and we need to select the packaging material as packaging material. But what is this auxiliary packaging material? This auxiliary packaging material is nothing but your bubble wrap or a shrink wrap. For example, uh, so in order to avoid any damage for the cartons or the pallets while transportation in the transportation unit. So basically in the warehouse, they actually wrap it with a bubble wrap to the carton to avoid any shocks to the packages. So in that case, if you are trying to create a packaging material, then you need to select this auxiliary packaging material. And one more thing is, so if you are trying to create an auxiliary packaging material, then in that case, handling unit number won't be generated because it is just a auxiliary packaging material, and we need not track any. We need not track or HU won't be created if you are using this auxiliary packaging material. So since that we are performing the settings related to handling unit management, then in this case, in our scenario, we are selecting option C. Okay, so this is not relevant. Okay, and the next one is number range.
Yeah, Rohit, sorry to interrupt you. Rogelia, can you please inform to Vamshi he's got disconnected?
Say again?
Vamshi got disconnected. Can you please inform him?
No, I tell him that he's.
Yeah, you can continue, but please ping to Vamshi. He got disconnected.
Okay, yeah. Maria is also on the call, so it's good. Thank you. Yeah, we can continue. Rohit.
Okay, yeah. So this setting is related to number range assignment, what number range it should actually follow for this particular packaging material type. So here we have three options. The first is any external number can be entered, no HU functionality. So in this case, the thing is, if your supplier is sending uh, 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 whether in the format of ABCD 1234 or 1234 XYZ or any format, if your system wants to allow all those number range which your supplier is sending, then we need to select this any external number can be entered. But in this case, if you have multiple suppliers and if they are sending the same HO numbers, then it might create the duplicate HO number discrepancy. So it is not suggested to use any external number can be entered functionality here in this number range. And the next option is if you are SSCC 18. Okay, so this is actually a standard. This is a global standard for creating a handling unit. So we can define a unique SSCC number range in the SAP system, and suppliers can follow the same number range while they are sending the HUs. Okay, so the next is the HU underscore VKP number range, which is internal within SAP. So here we define our internal number range and the external number range related to SAP EWM, and we assign those number range to the packaging material type. So in our scenario, we'll select option B, which is number range interval HU underscore VK.
Okay, one question. What if I would like to use both external and internal? Is that possible?
External or internal, it is not possible.
Okay,
Only
so if okay,
the supplier will create a HU
yeah,
and while creating the HU, it will consider the number range under HU VKP.
okay. So if is that possible to use that? I mean, if I have a vendor and they have their own HU and I wanna use that label, I can use it. I could use it.
In that case, you need to repack your HU, and that HU number should be followed by this number range.
Okay, so I need to repack.
If you want to accept the supplier number range, then you need to activate this. Any external number can be entered. No HU functionality.
But then what happened with the ones that we are going to create?
Yes, generally what is suggested is, so if supplier has, I mean, like you need to instruct your suppliers that you need to follow the number range which you have maintained in the HUVK. So if they are following correctly, then we'll be receiving the HUs with the unique number range, and it will also be followed with our internal SAP number range.
Okay, so and then if I already instructed several vendors and they send me, I think it's complicated, but then you instructed to use some number of range and it's not
Exactly.
there is
Exactly.
no issue if the range is too, I mean, how to say, so it's not in the actual number range, so it is possible if they send me that it skip like 1,000 of numbers, is that possible to enter
Yes,
them?
yes. Unless until it is within the number range, any number is fine. For example, if I defined 1 to 10,000 as our number range in internal HU underscore VKP, but first time the supplier has sent me the HU of 10, and later he has sent me the HU number of 50 or 60. If that 50 or 60 number range is not occupied in our SAP system will definitely allow that number range. So it is
Okay,
fine if he is sending unless until if he's fine if he's sending the HU within the number range, system will accept.
okay, otherwise I will need to repack.
Yes, otherwise you need to repack it.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. So the next one is, this is just for the reporting purpose. What is the HU type for this packaging material type? So you can either give as blank or anything. This is fine. This is just used for the reporting type thing. So the next thing is, what is, this is the most important thing. The important thing in packaging material type is your plant determination, your packaging material category, and your internal and external number range. So what is this internal number range? What is this external number range? So in internal number range, for example, there are two scenarios. If you are working with S4 and EWM integration, you can either pack in your S4 and send it to EWM, and EWM will accept that same HU. In that case one, when you are trying to create the HU in S4, system will follow this number range, which I have defined in S4. Okay. And what is external number range? So if I am if while receiving the inbound delivery, I didn't pack it, and when the inbound delivery is distributed to EWM, and in EWM if I try to pack it and then post the goods receipt, so that HU number should be accepted in the S4. So in that case, I need to set that number range in EWM and then assign it to external number range for my packaging material type. Is that clear? Simply, if I'm trying to create the handling unit in S4, it should follow this number range. If I'm trying to create the handling unit in EWM, then I need to assign that number range in external interval for my packaging material type.
Okay.
Clear?
Yep.
Yeah. So this is the purpose, and I'll show you this internal and the external intervals. Okay. So for now, I'm creating box packaging material type, and I'm using the same number range. Clicking on save. So we have defined the packaging material type as box. Next, define material group for packaging materials. So this material group for packaging material is nothing but in a cartoon you can place boxes, okay, and on a pallet you can place cartoons or boxes. So that is one material group, okay. So here we define multiple material groups with multiple combinations. For example, if I open Excel sheet, so this is a carton, okay, and this is a pallet, and this is a box. So I need to maintain a material group saying that this cartoons, whether these cartoons can be placed on pallet or not. If it can be placed, then we need to maintain the material group here, allowed material group. Okay.
Okay.
And this
Right.
box can also be placed on the pallet. Control X, Control Z. So this is one material group. So here, what I need to do is, this is one material group, right? So I'll be creating one material group as Z001 and assign all this packaging material type. So for packaging material type cartoon, I have created CR18. And for example, if I have created packaging material type for box, I'll assign this box 18 for Z01. And for pallet, if I have created one packaging material type, I'll assign this. So I'll assign these entries in the table. So this is how I assign. Clear? So for now,
Yeah.
I have defined one group as WH18 itself, and I'll assign all this. Meaning,
Okay.
I can, yes, please tell me.
No, I was going to say if because I think that it's like a standard process. So I was thinking that if it's possible that you can put another example with
For
different
example,
materials.
yeah. So in some businesses, in some industries, what they do is, so on the pallet, they can only place cartoons. They cannot place boxes. This box can be only placed in a cartoon. It cannot be placed in a pallet. So in that case, what is my cartoon packaging material type? CR18, correct? And for pallet, it is PL18. And for box, it is BX18. So here, so my requirement is system should only allow me to place the cartoon on a pallet, but not box on a pallet. So in this case, there are two groups, right? So what I'll do is I'll create two groups. One is Z001. Under Z001, I'll assign CR18 and PL18, and I'll create one more group, Z002. Here, what I'll do, CR18 and BX18. So here there are two groups.
Okay, good. Thank you.
So that is the purpose of this material group. For now, what I'll do is I am assigning only one WH18 and assign all the packaging material types for one material group. Okay, so I'll define allowed packaging materials for this. So here what I'll do is, for now it is assigned to WH18 CR18. I'll copy this entry and then also add my box 18. Okay, so here this assignment is done. The next is we need to define the number ranges. So as we can see in our sheet, packaging material type and material group is defined. The next is number range. We need to define the number range. So here, as you can see, there are two things. One is, if I go to my packaging material type carton and click on details, here what you can see, HU underscore VKP is the number range object which we need to configure. Okay. If I go back, in technical basics also we have defined number range unit for handling unit. But here, what is the number range object? This is something related to shipping unit, and these shipping units are actually maybe used in WM. So we shouldn't configure the number range here because this is RVBEKP. Okay, so the number range which we need to configure is under external identification node. Under external identification node, we need to configure this one, number range maintenance for HU identification. If I open this, here I can see number range object HUVKP. This is the right one. So here, if I go to display, because the number range is already defined while testing, when I was testing the cycle. So here I have defined, as I mentioned earlier, I have defined two intervals. One is for EWM. When I'm packing in EWM, system will follow this interval. The reason why I have given this interval is, so this interval was given in EWM, meaning when I'm trying to perform the packing in EWM, system will follow this number range in EWM. So I have maintained the same number range here as external. Okay, but when I'm trying to pack the handling unit in S4, then system will follow this number range. So in this case, in EWM system, what will be my external number range? Can you tell me?
Can you repeat the question, please?
So here so this configuration now I'm doing in S4. Okay, in this S4 handling unit number range configuration, my EWM EWM number range is set to external. Okay.
Yeah.
But after this, when I try to configure the number range in EWM, what will be my S4 number range? Whether it will be external or internal?
I think that's a good question, but I think it will be external if it's going to be.
Exactly. Because these two same, though they call it as embedded EWM, but
Yeah.
technically they are still separated. Okay. So in EWM, if you try to create the packaging or the handling unit, system will consider it as external number range. And
Yeah.
if you try to create the handling unit in S4 system, EWM system will consider that that number range is coming from the external number range. So that is the reason why here we define two number ranges, EWM and S4. And EWM number range will be external for S4. And in EWM, S4 will be external for EWM.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Well,
here
it is
for
for handling unit, it is possible just to have these two, right? So there is no possible to add another number range.
add another number, we can define our own number range up to these
Yeah.
many digits.
Okay, but because you have the indicator 01, you need to let them know in the handling unit type, right?
So this
Oh,
one, I'll open that in other screen for your understanding.
yeah,
I'll
please.
go to under logistic general, handling unit management, basics, define packaging material type. So here we have two. Okay, I'll minimize this and this. So I think this should clarify your doubt. So for my packaging material type BX18, okay, what is my internal number range? If I'm trying to create the HU in S4, it should follow this S4 number range, and this S4 number range is defined.
Yeah.
It starts with 1. Okay.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
if I'm trying to create the HU in EWM for this packaging material type, then EWM system will follow this number
the
range.
two,
That
the
is the
200.
reason why it is external.
Yeah.
Clear?
Yeah. Yes. Thank you.
Okay. So after this number range is defined, we need to define our handling unit type. So that handling unit type is actually, if I open the codex master or the material master, is already there. That is not this. Yeah. So if I click on WM packaging, so here it is not asking me any plant or storage location. It is directly opening the material master. For example, if I open this and click here, so here I am maintaining the plant specific data, okay, for other views. But whereas if I want to define the WM packaging view, it is directly opening it, meaning this is the client level setting. So here I need to define the handling unit type. I mean, I need to assign my handling unit type. So all this, the client level definition is not done in S4. Okay, it is done here. If I go to, you got me right? Or do you want me to explain again?
Now you said that the configuration that we just did is not in the EWM side. That means that it's not in
So for
the
example, yeah, for example, if you are trying to display the material, so ideally, if we want to view all this data, for example, if I want to view sales data, it will ask me the sales oriented plant. Okay, but if I want to display the WM packaging data, it is not asking me any plant or sales org. It is directly opening this, meaning all this data are configured in the client level. All these data are defined in the client level. So that is the reason it is not asking me any plant or sales org. So such type of data is defined here. If you are defining anything related to EWM, so in that case you need to go to integration with other components. Under integration with other components, go to EWM. Under EWM, go to additional material attributes. Here you can find this handling unit type. Okay, here we need to define a handling unit type. Okay, so this handling unit type I have created for cartoon is CR18. Since that I have created one packaging material type called BX18, I'll create one more HU type. I'll copy this. Box. So my HU type is in place. So here my HU type is defined. What we have done, we have defined the packaging material type, packaging material group, we have assigned the number ranges, and we have just defined our HU type. So what's next? After defining our handling unit type, we need to define our handling unit group. So I'll go up again in the logistic general. Under handling unit management, under basics, so this handling unit group is maintained in your EWM. Okay, let me check. I don't think. Right. So this handling unit group is defined in your EWM, not in your S4. Okay. So here we have also defined the number ranges. Okay. For CR18, it is automatically reflecting for what number range it is using. This you can ignore because this will be automatically determined. Okay. So setting is completed in S4. Now we have defined all this data like packaging material type, material group, handling unit type, define the number range. Now we'll try to create a material. Okay. Packaging material. We need to define a packaging material type in MM01. So this time we'll create box. Okay. Box PL18. So this is the packaging. This is the packaging material. Box PL18. I'll go to MM01. I'll try to copy the same from carton. Box. Sorry, box. So here I need to have selecting the basic data, sales org, plant data, purchasing, MRP1, general plan data, accounting, and this is important. You need to assign or select WM packaging view and then click on OK. Give your plant, storage location, sales or distribution channel details. Click on OK. Change the description. Okay. Base unit of measure, we are keeping the same. Here, main thing, packaging material data. So what is your material group which you are using? So I'm using the same one, which is WH18. Next is, we'll keep the same. Actually, the sales or views are not needed. because anyways we won't ship this directly to the customer. It is for internal warehouse purpose. So here again we see the same packaging material data or the material group assigned to it. Available.
But that value is pulled since
yes.
that value is pulled from the basic data, right?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So the other thing that you say in the sales view, so that's not part of our configuration, right? It's
this is
something
not needed. This is generally in the projects we won't define these views.
Okay.
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 So since that I have defaulted those views, it is coming. It is forcing me to create those views. That's it. But it is not necessary to extend to those views. Okay. Purchasing is also not needed, but since it was selected or defaulted, I'm giving all the necessary entries. And one is WM packaging. Here it is important. Here you need to assign your handling unit type. So my handling unit type is, since that I'm creating box, I need to select box GX18 as my handling unit type. Okay. Here you can maintain your maximum capacity of your packaging material. What is the length? The dimensions actually, LVH, length, breadth, and height. For now, we won't, let's not assign anything. So my packaging material is now created. Box PL18. Okay.
So the relevant is the edu group in the basic data and the edu type in the WM.
Exactly. Packaging material group in basic data, and the second important entry is your handling unit type in your packaging unit. These two are important.
Good.
Okay. So the box PL18 is created. This is one. Okay. Now S4 at S4 we have completed the configuration and we have created our master material master. Okay. Now we need to go to EWM and maintain the same settings, but the number range will be opposite to the S4. That is one we need to make sure. So we are under SEM EWM. Under EWM, go to EWM node, expand this node. It is loading. Yes, under EWM, go to cross process setting. Under cross process setting, under handling unit, under basics. Here we need to define the packaging material type, which we have done the same in S4. I'll copy this and maintain VX18. Here, need to change the description. Same. In S4, we had four options, but in EWM, we have 3 options because they have like grouped transport element and means of transport into option A. Okay. So since that we are creating packaging material to create the handling unit, we need to select option C as packaging materials. Tar weight variable and closed pack materials, closed packaging material, meaning if you want to make use of the volume of your cartons or the box, meaning if it is open top or if it is a pallet, then it won't be a closed HO obviously, right? But if you are using box and cartoons and it is closed actually, and you need to also calibrate your volume while placing the stock into that packaging material, then it is suggested to check this indicator closed packaging material. Then only it will check all the available volumes in that packaging material. So that is the meaning of this closed pack. Status profile, this is related to the handling unit status profile. Okay, not required. So the next one is delete checkbox. So this delete checkbox is actually like, so when you are receiving a carton, okay, in carton you are receiving 10 eaches of motors, okay, but in your warehouse what you're doing is you need to if you're trying to unpack that carton and then repack into two boxes, five each into each box. So in that case, since that you are unpacking that carton, so what should system do? System should actually delete that HU, because your data or your report will be clear. Okay, meaning if any HU is empty in your warehouse, system will delete that handling unit number if you activate this indicator. If you haven't activated this indicator and if you have empty handling units, then system will show those empty handling units. So that is the meaning. So I'll show you when we are trying to pack the handling unit by activating this indicator, how system actually behaves on these indicators. So the next one is what is the numbering assignment. Similarly, in S4 we have used VKP, HUVKP number range object. Here select number range interval, option B. So the next one is printer determination procedure. Since that we print the handling unit in EWM, you need to define your printer determination procedure. And so here we'll assign the standard ones, which is 0001. And here you have the size of the HU. We have three options. It can contain multiple hierarchies. So better we can use this, but based on your business needs, you can select this size. I'll keep it as multiple hierarchies and hit enter. Save it.
There was some option in the SU that about labels that says that for RF, that means that there's like an standard label form that has like barcode, something like that.
In background, like in condition records, for each procedure, there is one form assigned to it. Okay.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
if it is 0001, there is one kind of form assigned to it. If it is HUPR, there is one more form which has different details printed into it. Similarly, for this one also, something related to payable will also be printed in that form.
Okay.
So in background, these procedures are assigned to 3 different forms. So we need to select the appropriate form. Here I'm just selecting the standard ones, which is 0001.
So but we already have some standard form that we could use.
Yes, standard forms are already there.
Okay.
Okay, one moment.
Yep.
Okay, so I save it and go back. My packaging material type is configured in EWM as well. Packaging material group for products is not necessary because we are into embedded EWM. So this is the material group which we explained in the Excel sheet. What is the material group and allowed with packaging material? So that is this one. It will make use of the same S4 settings. Okay. So here also we need to give the allowed packaging material type for the packaging group as we discussed in our Excel sheet. So here I'll assign my packaging material type box for my packaging group. Enter. Save it. So here I'm allowing box and cartons to be packed one into other. So that is the meaning of that. Handling unit types, again, we don't have any option to define here because it was already defined in this setting. I'll go here and then I'll click here, define handling units. It will redirect me to the same thing where we have defined the handling unit type earlier. Here we have already defined BX18. After handling unit type, we have this handling unit type group in Excel sheet. So here, all these things are defined in S4 and EWM, and we are now seeing this handling unit type group. So this handling unit type group is actually, this plays a vital role when you are configuring your resource management. So what type of handling unit family can this resource able to lift? Okay, so this HU type group is associated with your resource management if you are using your forklifts. So in that case, this HU type groups will actually play a vital role. So here, let us go to our warehouse first. So in my warehouse, there is one HU type group created, WH18. So after defining the HU type group, I'll define all the HU types or assign the HU types which I have created to the HU type group. I'll go to my warehouse, WH18. So here, HU type WH18, for HU type CR18, HU type group WH18 is already assigned. I'll assign one more BX18 to my HU type group. I'll copy this, and HU type group will be BX18. And then I'll save it. So here, if I see my HU type group, WH18 has two HU types, BX18 and CR18. Next one is define HU type for each storage type. Here, the meaning of this is, so in your storage type, what kind of HU types are allowed to place? Okay, so that control is actually done here. So in my warehouse WH18, so we have three storage types, ST01, ST02, ST03. Here what I have defined, I have maintained the entries like in my warehouse, in my storage type ST01, I can place CR18, the HU with the HU type CR18, but we can add how much ever entries you want. You can allow the HU types for your storage type. So since that we have created one more HU type called box, I'll also allow this box HU type in my ST01 and ST02 and ST03 as well.
It's not possible to add the group instead of all the HU types?
No.
Okay.
So these HU types are grouped into HU type group, but HU type is directly assigned to your packaging material, right? So that is the reason why you need to assign HU type to the storage type, but not HU type group. HU type group is used for your resource management. HU type is used for your number range and the assignment to your storage type. So these things you need to remember.
Good.
Got it?
Yes.
Okay. So I think we are ready. HU types groups are defined in EWM, and the next one is we need to see our number range. So if I open my warehouse WH18 and click on display here, I have defined two number ranges, one for EWM, one for S4. So Rogelio, as you said, in EWM system, the number range S4 will be external. And if I open, yes, if I open the S4 number range, then you'll get some more clarity. Under logistic general, handling unit management, external identification, number range maintenance, click on display. So this is my S4 number range, and this is S4. This is EWM. So here I have defined number ranges EWM EW and S4, and I have used the same nomenclature in EWM also. EW and S4. And here you can see the numbering is also same. 2000, 2 all zeros, this one, and S4 the same, 1 all zeros. The numbering is same. But one thing which is different is you need to see if I make it little bit bigger. So for EWM, I have made it as external. But whereas in EWM will be internal. That is why this indicator is not turned on. Clear?
So it's just the opposite, depending on whichever system you want to use.
Exactly. It should be opposite.
Okay.
Okay. So this is done. And the next one is we need to assign the number range for the packaging material type. If in case if you're trying to create your handling units in EWM, then for each packaging material type or the each packaging material type, you can follow your number range. So I have defined generic number range for S4 and EWM. Okay, so I'll go to my this thing. So here what I'm using, if I'm creating the handling unit with this packaging material type CR18, it should follow EW number range. I'll also copy one more. For packaging material type BX18, you should also follow the same number range EW. I'll hit enter and save it. This setting is just for like based on your packaging material type. Also, you can create your own number ranges, but the same should be also done in same setting should also be done in S4 as well. Here I'm just keeping generic. I'm only using one number range for all the packaging material types, but I'm differentiating based on the system, whether it is S4 or EW. Okay, so packaging material type has the number range assigned. And for this, I think we are ready. Now, what we'll do is we'll try to